Some people think they can mess around with dangerous animals and nothing bad will happen, but nature does not forgive. There are plenty of stories out there showing that some who tempted fate in front of wild animals ended up very badly, and that is exactly what you will see here today. An impressive and dangerous case caught attention on social media. The wildlife influencer David Oren, 25 years old, was hospitalized after being attacked by a venomous rattlesnake during one of his extreme videos. The incident happened on Sheard Island in Florida, United States. Oren, who has more than 3 million followers on social networks, was practicing herping, an activity in which people look for reptiles in the wild, when he was surprised by an eastern diamondback rattlesnake of approximately 1 meter and 20 centimeters. The reptile attacked quickly, biting his leg. Even injured, Oren recorded the moments that followed, calmly alerting his friends. Within minutes, the venom began to act, leaving his leg swollen and purple. The influencer reported feeling as if his shin was going to explode. He was rushed to an ambulance station and from there airlifted to a hospital in Gainesville, where he received 10 vials of anti-venom. According to his wife, Emma Rinier, Oren remains hospitalized since the attack and is battling severe inflammation and pain. Images released show the young man walking with difficulty and still with serious signs at the bite site. The case reignited the warning about the risk of handling wild animals to generate online content. Although Oren had been bitten other times, this attack was the most serious. An online campaign has already raised more than $28,000 to cover his prolonged treatment. A moment that seemed to be just a curious interaction with a wild animal almost ended in tragedy. During a visit to a place where lions are raised under supervision, a man decided to approach one of the animals to pet its mane. All this next to the lion's handler. At first, the scene seemed calm, but within seconds the feline's behavior changed completely. The lion lunged abruptly at the man trying to attack him. The scare was immediate, and footage of the moment shows the visitor's desperation upon realizing the animal's strength and speed. Fortunately, the handler, who was beside him, reacted quickly and with experience. He held the lion firmly and managed to contain the attack before something more serious happened. The situation remained tense for a few moments until the animal was controlled and moved away. Cases like this serve as a warning. Even when raised in captivity or accustomed to human presence, lions remain wild animals with unpredictable and extremely dangerous instincts. No type of direct interaction is completely safe. Experts stress that when visiting places with large animals, it is essential to follow all the guide's instructions, keep your distance, and never underestimate the risks. The episode ended without injuries, but it could have had a much worse outcome if not for the handler's quick action. A moment of carelessness almost ended in tragedy at a zoo in the city of Penza, Russia. An ostrich in mating season violently attacked one of its keepers after mistaking the man's approach for a threat to its territory and to the females. According to reports, the employee entered the enclosure alone, something that is prohibited, especially during the breeding season, when ostriches become much more aggressive and protective. As soon as the keeper approached, the animal reacted instinctively. It charged quickly, delivering strong blows with its body and legs. The man ended up being knocked to the ground, and already down, was struck several times by the ostrich's powerful legs. These birds, despite not flying, have impressive strength and can cause serious injuries with kicks. Fortunately, other employees arrived in time to intervene and restrain the animal, preventing the attack from having more serious consequences. The keeper was treated and, luckily, did not suffer significant injuries, returning to work the same day. Even experienced professionals need to respect safety protocols, since aggressive behaviors are natural and part of the species' protective instinct. In this case, the team's quick reaction prevented a dangerous situation from turning into a tragedy. What seemed to be a fun tourist moment turned into a scene of panic. A man was seriously injured after approaching an African warthog in an attempt to film the animal up close. Trusting that it would be a harmless interaction, he ended up underestimating the unpredictable behavior of a wild animal. While recording the moment, the warthog showed signs of irritation and, in a matter of seconds, charged the tourist with extreme aggression. The animal hit him hard, using its sharp teeth to push him to the ground. People nearby ran to help, and the attack was quickly interrupted, but the damage had already been done.
He's going to come up the steps. Here he comes. Oh my goodness, and he's huge.
No, don't.
Wild warthogs are known for their strength, speed, and especially for reacting territorially when they feel threatened. Even if they seem calm from a distance, they can attack suddenly, and that is exactly what happened in this case. Experts reinforce that when visiting reserves or areas where there are free-ranging animals, it is essential to keep a safe distance and respect their space. A few seconds of carelessness can result in accidents like this. What was supposed to be just a peaceful sightseeing tour at Yellowstone National Park turned into a tense scene. A man was injured after being surprised by a moose that charged a group of visitors in the Mammoth Hot Springs area. The attack happened while several people were watching two males fighting each other, a common behavior during mating season.
Just keeping an eye on his cows.
Austin, get back up here.
Oh, I think I got it.
Amid the dispute, one of the moose crossed the street and ran toward the group of tourists who were filming the scene. In seconds, the animal rushed at the onlookers, causing many to run in desperation. A man ended up being struck and suffered minor injuries, receiving care shortly thereafter. The video recorded by a visitor clearly shows the moment when the animal leaves the confrontation with the other male and dashes toward the crowd. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but the incident served as an important warning. Park authorities reiterated that it is essential to keep a minimum distance of about 23 meters from large animals such as moose and bison. During the mating season, these animals become even more unpredictable and territorial, increasing the risk of attacks. Incidents like this have become increasingly common in the park, mainly when tourists ignore safety warnings. The official guidance is clear. Appreciate wildlife, yes, but always at a safe distance. The recklessness of getting too close can turn an unforgettable outing into a dangerous scare. Residents of Bishan in Singapore faced tense moments when a group of crows began attacking pedestrians. According to reports, the attacks began after a tree pruning that ended up knocking down nests with chicks, which left the adult crows extremely aggressive and protective. According to experts, crows are highly intelligent birds and very protective of their young. When they perceive threats, even if unintentional, they can act territorially, attacking anyone who approaches the place where the chicks are. Many were attacked when passing near a chick on the ground. Environmental authorities began monitoring the region in early February, removing nests and humanely controlling the population of the invasive species. The goal was to reduce conflicts and ensure resident safety. The attacks subsided in the following days, but the situation served as a warning. Experts recommend avoiding areas with trees where crows have chicks, using hats or umbrellas as protection, and, if possible, changing routes temporarily. In addition, it is important not to feed the birds, as this encourages them to remain in the area. Methods such as crow alarm calls and light reflections can help temporarily, but because they are intelligent birds, they tend to adapt quickly. This story clearly shows how human interventions in the natural environment, such as unplanned pruning, can trigger strong reactions from wild animals, even in busy urban areas. An elephant caused real panic by destroying everything in its path on a busy street in India. The huge animal moved along the roads out of control, knocking down everything it encountered. Cars were crushed, motorcycles tossed aside, and people ran in desperation to protect themselves. Witnesses reported that the elephant seemed extremely agitated, probably because it was frightened or disoriented. When an animal of this size enters a state of stress, anything can be interpreted as a threat, and its strength is more than enough to cause major damage in a few minutes. Images recorded by residents show the moment when the elephant charges at parked vehicles and spreads chaos. Fortunately, people managed to move away in time, avoiding a tragedy. Despite the scare and material losses, no one was seriously injured. Even so, the scene serves as a warning. Elephants are powerful animals, and any attempt to approach or provoke them can have serious consequences. A serious and extremely irresponsible case shocked visitors at a zoo in Jamaica. A handler was brutally attacked by a lion after provoking the animal, resulting in the loss of a finger. The incident was recorded on video and quickly gained traction on social media, clearly showing the danger of reckless attitudes toward wild animals. In the images, the employee appears provoking the lion, bringing his hand close to the cage and clapping in front of the visibly stressed animal. In an instant, the feline lunged and clamped the man's hand with force, trapping it between its powerful teeth. Panic took over the place, and people who had been watching and laughing quickly realized it was not a performance. While trying to free himself, the handler even braced his feet against the bars to pull his hand back, but the lion did not let go easily. When he finally managed to break free, it was clear he had lost part of one of his fingers. Lions are wild and extremely dangerous animals. It does not matter if they are in zoos or in reserves. Any provocation or reckless approach can end in tragedy. The handler's attitude was irresponsible, and professionals who work with wild animals must act with respect and caution. Nature does not forgive mistakes of this kind, and situations like this clearly show that playing with a predator is never, and will never be, safe. When you have a store or market, it is always good to have customers who keep coming back. But in this case, the unexpected customer was a 500-pound black bear. Paul High, an employee at a California establishment, faced the situation during his night shift while going to take out the outside trash. The bear tried to enter through the automatic door, and upon noticing Paul's presence, moved toward him, forcing him to retreat to avoid getting hurt. Despite his experience in shooing bears from the parking lot, this time the situation was more dangerous, as the animal entered the store and proved unpredictable. To avoid injuries, Paul ended up yielding, allowing the bear to grab a bag of Snickers chocolate bars before leaving. On another occasion, a co-worker had even more difficulty, with the bear lying on the floor and devouring an entire box of chocolate. Only with the arrival of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife authorities was the animal captured and taken to a safe place, away from the store. It is worth remembering that wild animals can be dangerous even in areas close to urban centers, and that one should never underestimate their strength. Trying to handle the situation without proper training could have resulted in serious or even fatal injuries. Safety must always come first. An unexpected encounter with a customer like this is not a laughing matter. It is a serious warning about the risks of living alongside wildlife. A man from North Carolina, David Oppenheimer, had his late afternoon unexpectedly interrupted when a large black bear appeared on his porch. Oppenheimer was calmly on his phone when the animal showed up a few meters away, leaving him visibly surprised and apprehensive. In the video, which quickly spread across social media, you can see the man gripping a pillow tightly while staring at the bear, which also seemed equally intrigued by the human presence. Although he was already accustomed to the animal's presence, which used to rummage through the trash and steal food from the bird feeder, Oppenheimer admitted that the proximity made him nervous. He managed to keep calm and avoid any action that could provoke the bear. Bears are unpredictable and can react aggressively when they feel threatened or surprised. It is essential to keep your distance, not try to interact, and follow experts' guidelines, such as making noise in the case of a black bear, and backing away slowly if necessary, protecting both people and the animals themselves. A surprising incident drew attention recently when a cow was caught on top of a truck, causing damage to the vehicle's roof and glass. The scene left witnesses stunned, and no one could explain how the animal ended up in such an unlikely position. The video shows the cow on the truck's roof stepping on the fragile structure and damaging the glass. The combination of the animal's size and weight turned the vehicle into a kind of unstable obstacle, increasing the risk of injuries to the cow itself and to anyone nearby. It is hard to explain how a cow ended up there, but fortunately, it seems to have left without getting hurt, leaving only the damage to the vehicle. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.